And with that, ladies and gentlemen, the sound of the trumpets means it's time to begin. Please put your hands together and welcome our host and presenter today from Leading Edge Trading. Please welcome the head trader of
Thank you very much. Thanks, Kevin and Kathy, for all you do behind the scenes. If you ever had an opportunity to work with Kathy, I highly recommend it. Kevin, maybe, not so much. Little joke there. Anyway, we have a tremendous amount to go through today, almost too much, so I'm going to rip through it. I recommend that you have a pad handy. You're welcome to write down anything and everything I say. I'll leave some time at the end for questions, and we can always do a follow-up later with respect to either email, contact admin, or in a voice chat session tomorrow that we have, which we'll get into. So buckle up because we're going to go fast here. The presentation as described here is just surviving or ready to kill it. I am the head trader for Leading Edge Trading. You can find this at leadingedgetrading.com. That is our home page. That is what it looks like. We'll get into that later. As we discussed in our little paragraph that Kathy emailed you, most traders are barely surviving. Do you remember when you started down this road? You had delusions of grandeur. You're going to make $100,000 a day or $1 million a day. You're going to buy a yacht. You're going to buy a seventh home. You're going to vacation in Paris and maybe jet off to San Francisco to catch an opera and come home afterwards, right? And then what happened? Reality set in. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. You've been lied to this whole time. We'll get into that. But that's called just surviving. Trying to eke out a living with a tiny account, with tiny size, with stuff that doesn't work, and always looking for the next golden nugget, the next little picture, the next little whoozy indicator or software or whatever that's going to make you rich. It doesn't work like that. This is a career, but we can teach you to kill it. Let's set the stage here first and talk about some things that we need to discuss to get out of the way. Survive. This is from Wikipedia. Remaining alive or in existence. To carry on despite hardships or trauma, or persevere. How many can identify with that? Say I. Okay. To remain functional or usable. To live longer or outlive. Yeah, outlive your money. Doubtful. Not doing it the way you started off doing it. And I did too. So I'm not casting aspersions toward anyone. I lived it. I got it. I feel your pain, to coin a phrase. But is that living? Is that how you envisioned your trading to be? Doubtful. Versus thrive, to make steady progress, to prosper, to grow, not only in your person, in your trading, in your life, in your dreams. Dream big, live big, right? Killing it. How do we define killing it? Killing it is to capture everything that happens all day, every day, regardless of what the market's doing. We can have trending days, range-bound days, breakout days, reversing days, reverse more than once in a day. It doesn't matter, and it shouldn't matter. Okay, the number one pet peeve I have is setups. People say we look for trade setups. We need the market to set up. What does it have to look like? A picture of a butterfly or a sailboat, or you're useless? You sit on your hands waiting? That's not trading, folks. That's not being a pro. That's sucking at what you do. And I don't mean you, I mean people that use that term. Anybody uses the term, they need the market to set up, or they look for trade setups, don't walk away, run. Killing it means you can do it no matter what. Capture everything that's there, all day, every day. You can do it with small risk per trade and still capture it all. You get every rip and every consolidation and every range-bound thing. You trade it both ways. It means you stay flexible. We have our traders in our advanced rooms trade 2 accounts. Trade with confidence and without hesitation. Why? Because you know what's happening before it happens. You trade size for maximum profit. And you want to get paid for the time you sit in front of your screens. You don't want to sit there 22 hours a day trading a 1 lot or a 3 lot. You want to kill it and get on down the road. Go do something else. Enjoy the rest of your life. Now, killing it. It sounds impossible, right? Yeah, pipe dream. No, it's not. You've just been led down the wrong path. You've been lied to. You've been looking under the wrong rocks, as we say. Most traders say they want to trade this way, to kill it. Of course, everyone dreams about that, but they're unwilling to make the changes. All I ask during this presentation is keep an open mind. Don't fight everything I say. Every trader that comes to our room has a little bit of resistance, and I can understand you've been lied to. about all this stuff that was supposed to work in theory, but it didn't work. Well, I didn't give it to you, so it wasn't me. So just keep an open mind and absorb. It's not going to cost you a nickel, and I can prove it to you that it can be done this way. I'm going to rip through 100 examples here of what we did over the last couple of days, play by play, with timestamps in advance, and I'll show you. Okay, so let us prove it to you. First, let's talk about problem areas. And this is problem areas for all traders, me included. Okay, I'm not above this. I came through the same channels that most of you did. So problem areas, late or chasing. Retail traders, I don't know why. I think there's a Bill O'Neill book out there about cup and handles and breakouts, and everybody read it, and everybody thinks that's what they should do. That's not trading. You don't buy the high or sell the low. It's the other way around. Buy low, sell high. Or they trade with emotion. You can't trade even in an emotionally good state. You won't make clear and logical decisions. You ever heard that expression, let's let cooler heads prevail? Couldn't be any more true with trading. Problem here is most traders trade with too small a time frame. They think they're going to miss something if they don't use a 1-minute chart or a tick chart. That's silly beyond belief, because I can map it out 2 hours ahead of time. And if you're using a 1-minute chart, I'm still 121 minutes ahead of you. Okay, it doesn't work that way. All this stuff that you've been taught is primarily backwards. It's theoretic nonsense, and I'm going to prove it to you. Okay, so keep an open mind. Let's just go here. Problem area number 4 is fear of missing it, or gotta get it back-itis. Right? That makes you do things you wouldn't normally do because you think I can get away with it. Well, the problem is you do that once and you get away with it, it sets a precedence, right? But you do it 20 times, you get hammered 17 out of those 20 times. Most traders tend to overtrade, especially when they shouldn't. We tell you in advance what the range is going to be, when to leave it alone. Don't go crazy, as we say. Most traders love to overtrade the stuff that should be left alone, and then they're out of bullets when it rips. Silly and backwards. Note the theme here. Problem area is the misuse and overuse of stops for number 6. Number 7, size or leverage. Most people trade too much size for their ability, too much size for their account's ability, and that's bad. We want to try and rein that in. We map it out how it should be done. They trade only one method or one way. That's like going on a PGA Tour with one golf club. You can't do it. You wouldn't do it. But people say, I'm a Fibonacci guy. Well, la-di-da for you. I'm a Elliott Wave guy. I'm a game guy. I'm a market profile guy. Brilliant. It just shows me what areas need to be worked on because that dog won't hunt. It doesn't work like that. Bias. I can't tell you how many people show up and in the first 3 minutes ask me for a prediction for the next 30 days or 6 months. Going, dude, you haven't mastered sitting here still for 5 minutes. It's so easy to get a bias. Pro traders are flexible. Traders tend to have way too much bias because it makes you double down on bad trades. Dumb. Or unrealistic expectations. That's when they send out the emails that say, turn 500 into 5 million by next month. Yeah. Wrongo, Congo, bongo. Let's get serious here. Okay, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to lie for you. On our website, we have a trading pad section where we teach you about what we think is the best way to take notes and how to line up your chart. By line it up, I mean put the lines on it in advance that the market's going to use, not chase around afterwards with a bunch of stuff that it has done, because after the fact doesn't make you any money. After the fact, you can't do that. You can't do anything with it. Okay, so on our website, which we'll talk about some more as we go on here, the trading pad section tells you about the best way to take notes. I suggest you're taking notes now, and I hope you do if you come see us. We'll talk about that toward the end here. So let's talk about yesterday. This is a screenshot from the Silver Room, which is our monthly membership room, from yesterday, 6/23. You can see by the timestamp and date. Once those posts are made, they cannot be changed, not by me, not by anyone. So yesterday at 8 o'clock in the morning, we were saying for today, just range bound to start off with. We were looking for 52.25 to 55.75 range, with 54.75 being the first bounce target and most aggressive resistance. Otherwise, 55.75 resistance. And you can see further down the paragraph here, we were looking for, from that 55.75 resistance, 51 target, 50 half target, and eventually 49 quarter. Well, let's look at yesterday. If you can see at the bottom, the chart essentially starts at 8 when our post started. So if you sold the 55.75 as a resistance or used the aggressive 54.75, then you captured that run down. If you did it again, which we said in our post, you could use that red line at the top there represents what we had posted at 802 or 801. That 55.75 would be used as a resistance, and we used that again to get down there and captured that next move. Then intraday, we said use 53.5 as some resistance, and we caught that next run down, and we said south of 51 or 50 half area is for TSP, and we could bounce back to the 54.75 again by the end of the day, and of course we did. Now, if you just look at the sell trades, because we had posted from the beginning of the day that we had a sell side bias, that would be 10 3/4 points, just the sell side trades. If you combined and caught the bounces too, which of course our silver and up members, especially our gold and platinum people, would be doing, be trading it both ways, because we did say range bound with slightly lower lows. But if you look at the lows, what did we say the first low was going to be? 51. What was that first low? 51. What did we say the second low would be? 50 half. It went to 50. Okay. Look at the bounce highs. We posted what they were in advance. You had the day mapped out before the day happened. And all of this, 21 3/4 points total in a 5.5 point range day. And then during Globex, we left off with this 54 3/4 resistance bounce. We said it's up to you if you wanted to do it. But look, we went from there, and look at the low of Globex up until that time, 49 1/4. That was the third target we posted. Okay, I got plenty of examples we could go over, but I don't have time to do them all. We got to keep pushing forward here. If you have questions about what we did in any session, back on our homepage, see that orange button that says try our free live chat room now, and right underneath it, see what we did last trading session. We have a moderator in the gold and the silver and free trial room, moderator B, and he's done a bunch of videos on our website that are extremely helpful to people just getting started, people new to what we do, as well as every day at the end of the day, he will post his chart to show what we did that session. You can check that out anytime. If you join us in the free trial, you can look at a week or 2 weeks, I don't remember which, back. If you join us in the silver room, you can go all the way back to the first of the year. So that's another way to see what we did. Everyone wants to, what did you guys do? Well, it's there every day. For example, yes, yesterday's version of the chart I marked up, but that's what moderator B's charts look like. Okay. For example, for today, we gave a reiteration. The market is a continuing saga. It doesn't stop moving, or the story doesn't stop when you decide to go for a run or a bicycle ride or go to bed or watch Seinfeld reruns. The market keeps going. Okay, I want everybody, we recommend that everyone go live your life. When you're done trading, shut it down, go. Get it out of your head. Otherwise, you burn out. But when you come in the morning, we start off with a reiteration of what we did last session. And the reason is to refresh, because you've been away. You've been living your life as you should. So we start off every morning. As you can see, this was today, June 24, 8 a.m. Yesterday, we said we'd be range bound with 55.75, some resistance, blah, blah, blah. We said 54.75, most aggressive for 51, 50, half, and eventually 49 quarter. We just demonstrated it used every one of those more or less to the tick, right? And then we start off after we give the reiteration of where we left off yesterday. Remember what happened yesterday? Oh, yeah, we use this because sometimes they're relevant today, same levels or same scenario or a continuation of the same scenario, something like that. And then we start with, okay, so for today, we did see a bit lower during Globex, not really low enough to cause any big break or flushing. So please do not be overly obsessed with sell side. And then I gave some of the stuff that we thought, we said it was low enough for time being. However, if we can pick up any steam here, and this is at 8:02 in the morning, we could see a bit more bouncing to 51 3/4, 52 3/4, not out of the question, blah, blah, blah. And then as we got closer to the open, we had used 51 3/4 and 52 3/4. We said then more 50.5 is choppy zone. We took some profit there from that earlier sale, and then more bouncing to 53.75. This was at 9:35. I'm moving pretty fast here, I know. Don't worry about getting all of it, seeing everything. I'm just touching on the high points here. We have plenty of time to go over all the meat and potatoes all day, every day. So we were looking for 51.75, 52.75 before the market, taking some profit. We were leaning on, if I go back one, we were using the 49.25, 49.75 to buy up against. And then we said 53.75 before the reports. We had reports at 10. And then we gave the breakout scenarios. So you have it north of 55.25, 55.75 for a true breakout for reverse back up, and we should know after 10. And then we said 55.25 supposed to be breakout. May have to give it to 59.75. I just reiterate that. Let's see here. Whoops, went too fast. So we did break out eventually, and we said that the market would stronger, more squeeze up to 59.25. Even 60 3/4 was possible. So what we were looking at is a break of that gets us that. We were buying 54 would be trailing support after we broke out. Otherwise, the breakout level, which was the 55.75, 55.5, was the rebuy for the higher. I'll go over that all in just a second here on the chart. And then today we said 59.25, or worst case, the 60.75 would be high enough for today, at least for the first half of the day. So here's the first part of the day. We were buying up against that. We said this low over here was low enough. We were buying up against that 49.75. We had 8 o'clock is right here where this blue line starts. We were selling up against 51.75. It bounced to 51.5. We bought up against 49.75 for 52.75. This is all pre-market. Then once the market opened, we said 53.75 was likely before the report. So here's the 53.75. And then when we pulled back after the report, we said south of 52 was bonus money and was for rebuying, because the reports were all good, and we said it would probably test for breakout, which was 55.75. So after this pullback from here, we got on buy side. We went up and tested 55.75 to the tick. We cautioned that if we only had small pullback, point and a half or so, that it would break out for 59.25, possibly 60.75. Here, it broke out. We got on buy side after the break. So here's the candle that's break. After that, we had time because we said breakout or better was aggressive rebuy. We bought there for 59.25. What's the high of that move? 59.25. So even, it's only just after 10:30 or so, even with that, and it wasn't smooth or clean or nice, we still had 13.5 points in the first hour or so of regular session trading. Then we said, and you can see we didn't do much for a while there, went sideways, but here we start up again at 12:10. We said use 1957 or 56.75 would be an aggressive line in the sand. If that holds, bouncing again. But if it's lost, more pullback. And then I just highlighted this so we could skip through it to retest the breakout area initially. Otherwise, 54, 53.5, then we'll see, because all the way back to 50.5 is not out of the question. But this 54, 53.5 is certainly a market pause. But if it stays weaker, this will melt down. Here we go. So this was where we left off. 59.25 was high enough. We said 60.75 would certainly be high enough for the day, at least for first half. Here's 57. That was the break. When it broke, where'd we go to? Back to 50.5. Well, we went to 51. We said to take profit in front of 50.5. Right there. Then we bounced all the way back to 59. Okay, obviously for take profit in front of the 50.5. That was before we got there. And then we said aggressive can use the 54 as aggressive, that would be resistance, one time with short leash for reselling. What was the bounce high? 54. What did we pull back to? 50.5. See the pattern here? And I don't mean chart pattern, I mean the pattern of behavior, that we post it more or less to the tick what the market's doing play by play. Then we had posted, oops, I went too fast. Retesting 49 quarter, even the 47.75 again is not out of the question. And then it didn't take long. There we go. The 47.75 would be low enough for this leg down, but we can get into more downside. So here's where we were selling up against 54. Here's where we hit 47.75. That was our today's number in our earlier posts. And we said, stays like this, will be retested. Now, of course, as the day went on, we had a 41.5. We said we could even get down as low as 39. We got to 40.5. And that's where we left off. I didn't have time to copy all of that, but I think you see enough examples. Hopefully you see the trend here. Now, let me ask you this. Which one makes more sense? Having all that gibberish on your chart, like the one on the left with all that cockamamie stuff that doesn't tell you anything? That's the problem. It's not useful information. And by useful, I mean after you have enough information, you still need the market to rip another 20 points to make you whole on a late entry. Here, we lay out everything on the right ahead of time. You've got the exact levels, targets, more or less to the tick in advance to use. You only have to interact with the market within a couple of ticks of those levels. We explain that more on the website. Let's lay some more parameters here. Distinction time, retail trader or a pro trader. And let's just talk about it. Take it out of the realm of the market just to make it simple to understand. I'm not casting aspersions toward anyone here, so I don't want you to get that impression, but it's important to fix it to talk about it. Okay, so here's a retail fisherman. Maybe those are Bassmaster Pro guys, I don't know, but a couple of guys out on a nice calm weather Sunday morning. Okay, you can do it, not do it. You can decide to do it. You can walk away. You can go mow the lawn. You can go ride your motorcycle. You don't have to be out there. Here's a pro fisherman. No matter what's going on, he's got to be there doing his job, all conditions. He doesn't get to say, I need the market to set up on a beautiful, calm Sunday morning with a nice sunrise. Come on. Which one are you? Here's another analogy, because everybody's owned a car at one point, I'm assuming. The retail car buyer. You ever made money on a car? Or do you typically buy them at retail, and when you trade them in, you get whacked, and that's giving you wholesale. So you're buying retail, i.e. buying at the high, and selling wholesale, i.e. selling at the low. So you're on the wrong side of the fence on the car scenario. The car dealership's not. How do you think they pay for that building and those palm trees and all that inventory? From you buying high and selling low. They're buying low and selling high. Got it? Which one are you? You want to be the house, man. You want to buy low, sell high, not buy high, sell low. And people do this all the time with cars, but they do it in the market. And I can't help but wonder, are you going to lose out to this guy? Really? Really? Come on. Or worse, this guy. Sorry, that picture cracks me up. But people put traders on a pedestal. Oh, he's a floor trader. So what? So what? You're not on the floor, and you're not a floor trader. Stop worrying about what everyone else does. And here's why. Because floor trading has no correlation whatsoever. None. Zero. Nada. Bupkis. To trading on your computer screens. Floor trading, they're reacting to either values they've been told by their company or the guy at Goldman across from them in the certain colored vest, and watch what he's doing and shadow his moves. What does that have to do with you sitting in front of your computer screens clicking a mouse? Nothing. There's no correlation whatsoever. Do not put these guys on a pedestal. They have nothing on you. I'll put any one of my silver room or up traders against any one of those bozos. This is not rocket science. Just that you've been lied to. You've been led down the wrong path. It's not your fault. You didn't invent any of this stuff. But if you think about this stuff, what is it? Is it how the market works? Is it? No. It's somebody's theory that they developed a program or an algorithm or an indicator or whatever about how they think the market reacts. You use it and you get your clock cleaned. Is it your fault? No, you believe them. You've been lied to. You've been lied to. It's not your fault. You've been looking under all the wrong rocks. So here's our saying. If you're not catching, on average, 20 points a day, we can help in the S&P market, E-mini S&P market. Why? Because it's there. Most traders claim they want to trade like a pro, but they won't make the changes. Every day, I have someone log in the free trial room for 30 seconds to 3 minutes because they, in their infinite market knowledge and wisdom, can assess if what we're doing is going to help them in 30 seconds. Are you out of your mind? If they stayed, I'd ask them, are you smoking crack? How can you possibly determine anything is going to help you in that short a time? And here's the answer. Well, that's not how I do it. Yes, but you suck at this, remember? Let's be honest, right? If we're calling the range of the day, the high of the day, the low of the day, every move that happens intraday, both ends, the entry and the exit to the tick ahead of time, how are you going to outperform that? You say, well, I don't like it in this format. Well, grow up. This is the format that pro traders use. You know what retail traders use? Pretty things. Whistles and bells and lights and diplomas and things that tell them that they're really, really smart. I'm in this to make money trading. I don't care what it looks like. I don't care what it sounds like, right? It doesn't spend any differently. But the way that most traders want to trade isn't going to get them where they want to be. If you think about it, the whole market is designed to separate money from the weak hands. What are weak hands? Late to the party, chasing, following, right? Okay, so if the market is designed that way to take money away from the weak hands, why do you want to be a weak hand? If the weak-handed behavior doesn't get you where you want to be, why wouldn't you want to change the weak-handed behavior? And here's the top 10 reasons. Because traders are stubborn. Me, I want, I do it this way, I do it that way, I use this, I like that. Really? You think the market gives a crap about what you like or what you use or what you think or what you feel or what you study or what you look at or who you know or who you think you know? Please. You're a leaf floating on a stream, man. Your presence isn't going to alter the course of the stream. It doesn't matter what time frame somebody's trading on. It doesn't matter what software they use, what hardware they use, how much money they have, their account size, how often they trade, how infrequently they trade, how many markets they trade. Traders lose because they're stubborn, because they are unwilling to change, because usually they think they're right. And as far as you know, you're right. However, how's that working out for you? Okay, I'm not here to make anyone feel bad. This is a wake-up call. This is reality-based trading. I'm just telling you the obvious. I'm telling you what nobody else has been willing to tell you. Okay, got people willing to tell you about, oh, just do this thing, or just do that thing, or just trade gaps, or just trade the open, or just trade the close, or just trade Globex, or just trade, really just? If there's a just in anyone's explanation, don't walk away, run. That's an acronym for setup. I just trade these setups. Well, what do you do the rest of the time? Nothing, because I have no clue what to do with it. That's what they're telling you. Okay? Let's talk about what pro traders do and how pro traders behave, because I believe everybody here wants to become one. Pro traders have it mapped out. We know where the market's going ahead of time. It's not a guess. It's not a hope. Anyone tells you, I think it's going higher. Really? That's the best you got? That's your A game? How about from here to there, as in specifically, as in to the tick, as in we've demonstrated the last 2 days and 15 years of doing it this way, of showing you from here to there can be mapped out ahead of time. So pro traders know the targets, the levels that the market will use ahead of time. So we can interact with the market close to those levels. So if we do that, there's no stress, there's no emotion. So number two, if there's no emotion, it allows us to keep the risk small. The reason there's no emotion is because we know ahead of time. Market's going from here to there, period. End of story. Doesn't need input, doesn't need rationalization, doesn't need to be thought about, doesn't need to be contemplated, doesn't need to be calculated. It just is. Because what we're doing is based on understanding how the market works for real and how it generates the information it does for real without indicators ahead of time. That's completely different. So pro traders trade on a bigger time frame, number three, and hold for the targets that are appropriate, the ones that we've mapped out. Targets are / will be, not may, will be achieved, because that's how the market works. Big traders don't care about what? About anything. Obviously, I care about all my people. I care about you, or I wouldn't be doing these things. Nobody should have to feel the pain and anguish of that chasing late to the party, win some, lose some trading. Pro traders pair out and down over time properly. We have that mapped out. We'll teach you how. Pro traders use a break-even stop and ride the rest. We take off part of our trade at an appropriate level, not a given set fixed number, because the market's a moving target. You can't take a cookie cutter approach, but we use a break-even stop on the rest and ride the rest. We get it all. Pro traders trade size. You make more money with size than you ever will sitting there more hours trying to get every little tick here and there. Pro traders don't think in ticks. Anybody that does has got tiny-minded loser mentality. We trade size. We hit it hard, and then we leave. I got guys that leave after the first hour and a half of regular session. Who cares? They're killing it. They're knocking down 5, 10, 20 grand in the morning and then take off. Why? Because they can. Because sitting there more hours doesn't make you more money if you get tired or whatever, and then they all have a life. Number 8, they trade the market the way that it is, not the way they would like it to be. And number 9, no bias. Means we don't care about anything. I don't care about news. Market can go up on bad news and down on good news. It doesn't necessarily matter, but we have it mapped out before the news comes out. And then Bob Pisani comes on CNBC to explain why the market did what it did. Well, great. I can get a 5-year-old to write an essay after the fact. After the fact does me no good whatsoever. But where did it take it, Bob P? Right to our target, the one we had mapped out at 8 o'clock in the morning or the day before. Remember? Yeah. Okay. And number 10, get what's there. Come back tomorrow. In other words, this is a job. This is a career. This isn't a, oh, I hope I make some money. Oh, I pray I make some money. Right? Like we talked about when we first started here. When you first start trading, you got these delusions of grandeur, killing it. You know, like I said earlier, buying a yacht, buying a 7th house. And what happens? You start trading using all that cockamamie crap that they teach you to use, with indicators, and starts with moving averages and RSIs and PSAR and Elliott wave and Gann and Fibonacci. It all makes for good reading. It's a great theory. What's the difference? When you go to reality, it's crap, right? That's the problem. If you go to our website, as I said earlier, and see what we did last trading session, you'll be able to see, and of course if you join us, you'll be able to see all the way back to the first of the year, every day. We do this every day in, day out, mapping it out ahead of time, the day and each and every move ahead of time, to the tick, both ends. We have an entries and exit sections. We'll get to that here in just a few minutes. The problem is, most traders, me included, we're all taught to use indicators of some kind. We need to measure the market strength. Really? Something that uses X, Y, Z and do, re, mi and A, B, C and 1, 2, 3 and volume and range and open, high, low, close and is going to do that? Really? Really? That's like saying you could put your better half's behavior on a spreadsheet and determine when and where and how and they're going to react to something, right? Please. That's so much hocus pocus. It's stupid, silly. So indicators are supposed to help us read the market. They're supposed to tell us the trend. If you need an indicator to tell the trend, you shouldn't be trading. Indicators, consolidation. I love that one. Bollinger Bands tell us when the market's consolidating. If you can't tell the market's consolidating without the Bollinger Bands, you shouldn't be trading. You probably shouldn't be driving. Supposed to tell us strength or weakness, or my favorite, overbought, oversold. Yeah. For the last month and a half, we've been calling to get up here to 59 and a quarter, 60 and three quarters, 63 half for a month and a half now. And how many people have you seen on these financial news channels been saying the market's overbought forever? Well, I'll eventually be right. You'll be out of money. It's just so stupid. They don't get it, and they don't get that they don't get it. Or indicators are supposed to tell reversals and all that. Please, we gave you the reversal to the tick before it ever happened today, both the breakout and the breakdown today. Sadly, indicators don't do any of those things. They just don't. They keep you guessing, they keep you confused, they keep you frustrated. And then here's the other thing that's kind of cruel that they throw into the mix. You need to use this on different time frames. Oh no! On my 1 minute chart, I've got to buy, but on my 15-minute chart, I've got to sell, but on my 60-minute chart, I've got to buy. So what do? Well, I buy it in 1 minute and sell it in 15 and buy it again. Really? That's your program? That's your A game? Tell you what, go out. Why don't you go outside and play lawn darts? Okay, see if you can catch them in your mouth. Come on. That's it? I love these screenshots. These are not mine. These are screenshots I took from websites advocating their trading methods, methodology, and how well they do. What is that? It looks like a EKG machine or something like that. I mean, it's silly, preposterous. Here's one that's even better. If that's the best you can do, here's a phrase you better get used to. Would you like fries with that? Because you're going to need it. Okay, and then this one's another one I love. This is some people that emailed me their software. You should see our software. And then they post their results where they made 3/4 of a point one day and 1/4 of a point the next day for the day. I'm going, that's it? That's the best you can do? What's the name of your company so I can short the stock? Unbelievable. We don't use indicators of any kind. None. Nothing. Nada. Zero. Bupkis. Why? Because it's not necessary. It's a useless crutch. I'm telling you that we're posting stuff ahead of time, and indicators don't indicate till afterwards. The best indicator on the planet isn't going to tell you ahead of time the market's going from here to there. And we do that 10, 15 times a day, as well as mapping the whole day out in the morning. We don't use candle patterns. If you need to make sure that the market looks like a picture of a frog or a sailboat or some other 3 leaky boats freshly painted or some other thing, then you got no business trading. By the time that pattern is made, we've probably made 7 trades and killed it already. We don't use any of that Fibonacci stuff or Elliott wave or Gann or price action or S1 or S2 or any floor trader pivots. Remember I told you that this morning or earlier when we started here about the floor trader guys? Please. Even market profile. It may be one of the dogs with a few less fleas, but it doesn't tell you anything. Oh, the market did this. Do you really need market profile to see that? If you do, you don't know how to read a chart. And if you're using market profile for that, it's like half a hockey score. Chicago 6, well, that's a good score for Chicago, but what if the other team has 7? I mean, you don't know that because you can't tell what the market's going to do at any of those levels. It only tells you what it did at that level, but you don't know who did what at that level. So, kind of a false flag there. Or algorithms or red light, green light, or any of that stuff. Why? Because the market doesn't work that way. Think about it. If it did, everyone using that stuff. Think about the best person you know using market profile. Ooh, using tick charts. Ooh, do they have several houses? Do they have warehouses full of boats and cars and toys and whatever? Because of that trading, I doubt it. If that stuff worked, they'd be killing it. And if you followed their lead, you'd be killing it. Are you? Are they? I think we both know the answer. What we do is we map out the entire day, as in more or less to the tick, every day at 8 a.m. Eastern. The silver, gold, and platinum rooms are open all week long. They never close, but the free trial room closes at 5 p.m. every day, but it reopens at 7:35, 7:40. something like that. So you can log in. You got plenty of time to get logged in, get comfortable, get your pad out, and start taking notes right out of the gate. We trade right out of the gate. We're traders. We're here to trade. We don't watch. We don't sit there like a bump on a log waiting for a unicorn to deliver a Western Union and say, okay, HT, it's time to trade now. The market's set up. Okay, we map out the entire day at 8 a.m. in advance. We give the exact levels the market will use, the entries, the targets, the timing, the direction, and what's going to change our mind. If we lose this level, it's over. And that doesn't mean X number of minutes or close. That's somebody else's crap. That's somebody that doesn't understand the market. Because if you change that chart by a couple minutes, you get a different answer, right? That's the cruel part I was talking about. Indicators earlier, where you say, okay, but I use this on this time frame and I use that on that time. Why? You obviously don't get it. When we teach people how to read the market the proper way, we have them make up time frames. If they say pick a number from 1 to 300, hell, pick a number from 1 to 3,000. I don't care. Make a 712 minutes. Okay, let's make a 712 minute chart. Where's the market going now? To the tick. And it does. Because when you get it, you don't need that hocus pocus stuff, and you'll realize just how silly that is. So we're here to change your life, but we need you to let go of a few of those old habits and beliefs. We do all this, and we post it ahead of time. Let's talk about technical analysis from our perspective. Technical analysis, the way we look at it, is having an exact entry, as in the market's going from here, having an exact exit or target. It's going to there. That does a couple things. One, tells direction. Two, tells risk parameters on both ends and what to expect so you can gauge risk reward. I'm going to trade a 3-point target differently than I would trade a 23-point target differently. Okay? So having an exact entry, an exact exit, and timing. So we're going to go from here to there, and we should get there by this time, or give it X number more minutes. If it doesn't, then it's not going to go there, and we'll do this instead. So it's having the game plan ahead of time. It's like having tomorrow's newspaper today. And the break price we talked about, what would change that scenario. And we'll explain all of these particulars. This is dumping a lot on you, I know. I'm trying to get as much out there as I can in the amount of time we've got allotted here. So I know you'll have questions. I'll stop here shortly and get to them and do the best I can to rip through as many as we can, and I'll follow up on the rest of them, okay? So if you're not trading that way, we can help. That's what we do here. You want proof? Of course, everybody wants proof. They want my resume. They want my blood type. They want my social security number. They want to run my genealogy on my family tree. They want all that. You want proof? It doesn't matter what my resume says if I can't tell you what to do next. So the proof is that you can sit there for a couple of weeks and write down everything we say, having it ahead of time, and you tell me if we know what we're talking about. I've never had anyone. I've had people tell me, oh, he's mean, he's cruel. No, I'm businesslike. I'm busy over here. I got 2 hands and 2 eyes. But I've never had anyone, as long as I've been doing this, tell me I didn't know what I was talking about. Tell me I didn't know how to read the market. Okay? I've been doing this online stuff, giving online trader guidance and education since 1999. In that time, other than pre-scheduled time off, I have never been late and I've never missed a session. You want proof that you can do this, that you can capture 20 points a day? Let us prove it to you. As I said earlier, I'm the head trader at Leading Edge Trading. You find us at leadingedgetrading.com. If you're interested, even if you're curious, if you're open-minded, even if you're somewhat biased or negative, let me see if I got no problem with that. I got no problem standing behind what we do, what we say, what we post, what goes on in our rooms. I got no problem with that. Okay? So go to our website, and that orange button there says try our free live chat room right now. If you are curious about what we did, you can check out. We've got days. I had some from previous PowerPoints I did back in March. Here's one from March. That's moderator B's chart, not mine. We did 26 points March 14th. Here's another one from March 18th, 25 points. What about the days in between? Dude, we do this every day. We make money every day. So if you're interested, go to our website and click on the Try Our Free Trial. It's a risk-free 2-week free trial. You get to sit there. It won't cost you a nickel. In fact, you can't pay us to take this free trial. There's no credit card or payment of any kind. There's not even a place to put that information in. There's no software to download. It's all on our servers. We focus mostly on the ES. We can look at any other market you like, and I'll give you an honest read on it, and then you tell me. We had a guy last week that was wanting to invest in something, and I told him it's not ready yet, and it pulled back another $2 or $3, some ETF he was looking at before it went. If you do decide to take the free trial and you like what you see and you want to join us, there's no obligation to join us. It's $2.99 a month. No hidden fees, no upcharges, no upselling. That's less than $10 a day, or $13.59 for you that have to do the math, or it costs you about 1 tick a day. This is our website. If you were to click on that button and try our free chat room, it just tells about the free trial. The one to the right is the silver room. That's the $2.99 a month. Here's what it looks like if you do click. Oops, sorry, I went too fast. If you do click in that box to sign up for our free trial, look at the inquisitive information we ask you for. Your name, your email address, your phone number. You can pick your own username and password, period. There's no place to pay us. There's no place to do anything. We're not trying to get in your knickers. So fill that out. Before you come, please, 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 please review the Leading Edge Trading Guide. It has all the information about how we do things, because I promise you it's most likely going to be much different than you're used to. The trading pad section about how to line up your charts, the abbreviations that we use in the room, and I'm a terrible typist. I'm dyslexic. I apologize in advance, but that's just the way it is. That way I don't have to type a whole paragraph. If you decide to join us, you can pay us with PayPal or credit card, period. There's no upcharges. We don't auto bill you. We don't auto charge you. You have to decide to do that. If you decide you wanted to go beyond the silver room, you can talk to admin about the gold room or the platinum room training, but I don't have time to get into that now. There's no obligation to ever go beyond the silver room. You can stay there for as long as you like for all your trading days and get the information of where the market's going all day, every move, more or less to the tick, and have that knowledge beforehand so that you can use it. In the free trial room, it's just a window on what we do. I can't get in. I can't stop what I'm doing. I've got 4 rooms with a couple hundred people that we're giving guidance to here, so I can't stop what I'm doing and teach Trading 101. But we do have voice chat sessions twice a week, Tuesday and Wednesday after the market close. Wednesdays for free trial and up, Tuesdays for silver room and up. The rooms, however, are just text. There's no charts. We assume you have charts at this level. If you don't have charts, we'll help you get them. But we're not using any indicators, so we don't have anything to show you. We put the lines on our charts just like you should put the lines on your chart according to the trading pad section of the website. So please, read this stuff on the website. Come, take the free trial. You got a couple weeks to sit there and watch for yourself everything we do. You can write down all day, every day, everything, and you tell me if we know what we're talking about. Okay? I don't have, I'm kind of out of time here. I'm going to have a few minutes left for questions. So hopefully we would see you in the free trial. If you have any questions that we don't get a chance to get to today, you can either call the 800 number at the bottom page of any page on the website, or you can email admin, our administrator, admin@leadingedgetrading.com, and she'll answer you. Or you can just take the free trial, show up tomorrow, and we'll do the best we can to answer you. She can answer you in private message throughout the day as well. And then tomorrow, being Wednesday, there's a free trial voice chat session at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time, right after the close, where we can answer any questions you might have after seeing or being exposed to what we do throughout the course of tomorrow. Okay, so at this time, I can open it up for questions for anyone that has any. I'll get to as many as I can and try and be as thorough as I can, but we're running out of time here. So here we go. Alan said, when are you going to start creating questions? Okay, we just got to that. Let's see here. Rick D says, your trading looks most impressive. Do you also teach people how your methodology of how you pick your numbers? We don't pick them, the market does, but yes, Rick, that is what we do in the gold and platinum room. It took me 10, 12 years, literally, and cost me close to $1 million of my own money to figure out how the market works. True story. And the training is expensive, but it's worth it, but there's no reason to take it if you don't have the ability or don't want to. So that's why we offer the different levels of service. The people that came to us, the people that work for us in-house, the people that came to the silver, to the platinum and gold rooms, all came to us through the free trial and through the silver room. So they're coming through the same channels that you are. The market generates all of the information that we need, all of the levels, all of the timing, all of the whatever. And the market is a moving target. It's different all day, every day. So there's no cookie cutter scenario that's going to work. So it's not a method or a methodology. It's really market understanding from the most simplistic level through the most complex. It's a building block scenario. It builds on itself. So from the time you come to the free trial, you're brought along the way that we want pro traders to think about the market. So we start people off with the note taking. Just we ask that you open a simple 5-minute chart with no indicators and put the lines on your chart the way that we state in the trading pad section of the website. And in that we explain that the best way, we call it trading pad because we think you should have a pad of paper, write everything down, transpose those levels onto your chart with horizontal lines, and then watch the market interact with them. It's empowering. And in order to trade well, and especially in order to trade size, you have to trust the market. And to date, you haven't been able to trust the market because you've been using indicators and lagging methods and all this other garbage that we were all taught, me included. And I moved away from that. And when you move away from it and you start doing it this way, you realize the market doesn't work this way. I don't need indicators. I just need the market to tell me what the market is going to do because the market knows the market. And the market is always right. It's us as traders. We need to stay flexible and comport with what the market's telling us. I hope that's responsive to your question. Rob 1 says, do you post levels for any other markets in the free trial room or only ES? I'm happy to look at any other market that you would like me to look at. We swing trade in the other rooms: gold, natural gas, crude oil, silver, sometimes soybeans, treasury notes, mostly 10-year ZN. Let's see here. But I'm happy to look at anything you like. Rick D says, I see. Thanks for your directness and honesty. That's the only way I'm wired, babe. Come at you, come through the front door and let you have it. John C says, what is your initial HD? Head trader, John. Mark says, I would like to know how well you do with your own system. What do you mean? I just mapped it out. I just showed you yesterday, the whole day, and today. I showed you plenty of days. Should have made millions trading by now. Well, like I said, if you know anybody else that has several houses and 2 warehouses full of collector cars and toys and planes and boats and whatever, that would go a long way to showing that my service works. How about instead of you deciding what you need to see if my service works, that you sit there for 2 weeks and write down everything we say, having the information ahead of time and seeing if the market goes there? Wouldn't that be a better indication that we know what we're talking about? James says, in the gold and platinum rooms, how long will it take for me to become proficient in your method? I have no idea what your background is, James, or how open you would be. So if you don't know how to play the guitar or the piano, how long would it take you to learn? Depends on how dedicated you are. Depends on how open you are to instruction. Depends on how much you practice. That kind of thing, right? And then there's different levels of acceptability. How long would it take you to be able to play for your friends around a campfire? How long would it take for you to play in your church, strumming a few chords? How long would it take you to play at a bar at night and entertain people? How long would it take you to be the opening act for Bon Jovi? Those are all different levels, but that's something, it is what it is, but this is your life. This is your money. This is your career. We'll do our part, and I'll help you. It takes what it takes, okay? Nature's rules, not mine. Let's see here. Carrie says, are you using TradeStation or Ninja or for platform? I am not a TradeStation user. I am not an advocate of TradeStation charts. I think TradeStation data is not, let's say, the best. I'm not slamming them. I just think that Q charts for charts is better. Ninja is a good platform. We use that on our second account. I run TT on a VPN on my main account. Rob R says, I'm in the trial. Are we included in the morning prep or just trading? hours chat at 8 a.m., Rob. We start posting at 8 a.m. You're welcome to log in anytime after 7:35, 7:40 in the free trial, so you can be there. We start posting promptly at 8. So I urge you to be there logged in before 8 a.m. so that you can start taking notes and be in sync with the market right out of the gate. Okay? Let's see here. So our website is frozen, won't come up. That's probably because it's getting hammered by 100 people here at a time. Anyway, just try again here in a minute. We had a problem earlier in the day with a server, and they switched over servers. I don't know if they're in the process of switching back. I don't think the IT people know that we're doing this webinar right now, so I apologize. Let's see here. Mark says your results would be a good start. If they were good, I would glad to use up 2 weeks of my time to check out your service. My results, I told you, you can see what we did every day. Here's the thing, Mark. You've got an attitude of, well, I will determine if let's say, this can change your life and you can take 20 points a day out of the market, how much would that change your life, right? So sitting there for a few days even to decide, you don't have to stop the rest of your life, but log in, follow along what we do, write down what we say. It's up to you. But you're here now, means you must want to know, but you're going to, you decide, I want an Excel spreadsheet and okay, let's say I gave you all that. But tomorrow I couldn't tell you what the market's going to do next, so what good is that, right? Remember what I said earlier? Most traders do things backwards. Even the acid test process that most traders use is backwards. Jack says, what account size is needed to trade with you? I don't want anyone trading in the free trial room because we do things differently. It doesn't take a lot of money. And in the silver room, we teach and mentor how to make a proper transition. And yes, there is a proper transition from note-taking to demo trading, and from demo to live, and from live to ramp up. And it's something that you'll be able to track and know your progress of. And then every week we have these 2 voice chat sessions so we can answer any questions or clear up anything that you may be wondering about and bring you along the right way. T-Man says, are there materials for us to read after we sign up for the free trial before entering the room? Good question. On the website, there is all kinds of information on our blog section, on our YouTube channel. There are videos upon videos about trading pad, entries and exits, normal versus aggressive, stops. Moderator B did some great ones about getting started, about his 10 steps, etc. I think the more you review that, the more in sync you'll be, and then do it again after you've been in the room for a few days and been exposed to some posts and how we do things. Go back and read them and review them again. It'll help. Again, I can do my part, and I'm here doing my part all day, every day. The other part is up to you. I can't pour it in anyone's head, and I can't send you something that says you will make X. I mean, that's not realistic. No business doesn't work. Nature doesn't work that way. Life doesn't work that way. I'm telling you, this is what we do, and you got a chance to see. Hey, I'll see if this guy knows what he thought. Fine, I'm okay with that. Come to the room, write down everything we say. Line up your chart the way we say, and then you tell me if we know what we're talking about. Okay? Let's see here. James says, how long is the chat room open? From 8 a.m. until 4:15 p.m. Rob said 8 a.m. Eastern Time. Do you trade pre-market? We are here at 8 a.m. We are pro traders. We are here to trade. We start trading right out of the gate at 8 a.m. Pro traders trade. Retail traders watch and make 1,000 excuses why they shouldn't, couldn't, can't trade. That's the difference. Let's see here. Rob says, if you can show me how to make 20 points a day, I'll buy you the 7th house after I buy my 2nd house. That's a deal. You got it, Rob. Mark says, the results of a P&L are never... Okay. See what I'm talking about, Mark, here? We're obviously not for you. You want to find 200 reasons why you're going to stand there with your arms folded, and until you get what you want, you're not going to even come sit and see if we know what we're talking about. I'm not going to make you happy. It is what it is. I mean, that's just... It's okay. T-Man says, thanks, HT and Michelle. James says, what's your YouTube address? Ask Michelle it's on our website. You can get there through the blog section of our website. Jack said, can I sign up for the trial next week? Yes, there's no time frame with which you have to enter. It doesn't have to be continuous. We're pretty easy to get along with. We're pretty flexible. So if you have to miss a few days here and there, admin can extend the length of your free trial. We just want everybody to be able to see it. We know that you've heard every good story under the sun. And it doesn't matter post facto, because after the fact, anybody can tell you anything. But if we're telling you ahead of time, Mark is going to go from here to there, and it does, that should get your attention. And if it doesn't, then leave. Okay? I'm okay with that too. I'm not trying to convince you of anything. I'm saying, look, here's a window. Put us to the test. Sit there. It won't cost you a nickel. Write down everything we say, and you tell me. Okay? At the end, you'll be fine. All right. I've got to wrap it up here and toss it back to Kevin. If you have any other questions, you're welcome to email us, call us, show up in the free trial tomorrow and ask questions, or attend the voice chat tomorrow, or all of the above. We'll do everything we can to help you. We will bend over backwards to help anybody that wants to get this. We do things differently than you're probably used to, so it will take a little bit of acclimation. We say typically after 3 days, it really starts to gel. So take your time, ask questions, and hopefully we'll see you in the room. Thanks for coming, everyone. Thanks for your attention and opportunity and open-mindedness, and hopefully we'll see you in our chat room. Thanks. Appreciate it. Back to you, Kevin.
Hello, everyone. Again, thank you so much for your time and your participation. Please take advantage of HT's offer. We do want to thank each and every one of you, Michelle, and all of the good folks at Leading Edge Trading, and especially a thank you to each and every one of you for your time and your participation here today. We know that your time is valuable. We do try to honor your time and stick to the time schedule. And again, we thank each and every one of you. Have a great day.